Haven't seen you around before, stranger. Come along, take a seat. Would you like something to drink? It looks like you've been traveling for a while. Just water? All right then. If you need anything stronger, I'd be happy to let you sample before you buy. Now, forgive me for being forward, but small town, even smaller population. We don't get a whole lot of travelers. The last outsider that came through here was old Father Marley. Oh, you know him. Ah, that's why you came. Yes, the priest had rolled through town just a few weeks ago. I'm not quite the religious type, but there was something about the father that had the whole town riled up. Damn near interrogated every single person that gave him a look. He said he had a premonition about our town, demons running around and corrupting people. Now, I never attended his sermons, but the people at my bar liked to talk after a couple rounds, and the stories secondhand were enough to make me shiver. It's true that in the past couple years some people have gone missing, but it's easy to move away from this town. We are not all so connected to each other. We mostly keep to ourselves. When did I last see the pastor? I don't know where he ran off to. A couple days ago, he was telling anyone who would listen that he almost had the evil spirit under control. He knew exactly who it had possessed, and he would take care of them that night. We hadn't heard from him since. And here you are, fresh off the dirt road, looking for him. I'm afraid you just missed your mark, stranger. But enough of crazy old pastors and ghost stories for now. You look tired. I'm sure you'll track down Father Marley in no time. In his condition, he couldn't have gone far. So why don't you rest and stay a night? I'll let you have the spare room upstairs, free of charge for the trouble. Really, it's no bother for me. It's my establishment, after all. The room is right next to mine, so if you're having any troubles, you're free to knock on my door. Though, you most likely find me down here in the middle of the night. I'm a bit of a night owl. Good for business, at least. Well, that look on your face is telling me you didn't expect me to be the owner here. And that's all right, I forgive you. I don't have many other employees. Just Al, who brings the barrels in, and Meredith, who takes over so I can have a day off once in a while. I do live upstairs, though. I'll show you your room once I get these glasses put away. All right. Follow me. Just up the stairs, and your room is the last door on the left. It's just a spare room for folks who are too drunk to walk home. I feel better knowing that my regulars can come back next weekend. And besides, apparently there's monsters looking around, right? Don't worry, I clean up after every person stays, so I hope the cot is comfortable enough for the night at least. Now, before I head back down and let a stranger wander up about my living area, could I get your name? Just so I know what's put on the wanted papers in case I find my valuables missing tomorrow. I kid. But honestly, you've scored a free room for the night. The least you could do is give me the courtesy of knowing your name. Thank you. Well, I'm about to close up for the night, so if you're not too tired, I'll come back up with a drink, and maybe you could tell me about how you know our dear Father Marley some more. You still up? Oh, you couldn't sleep? Do you need another blanket? The ones in here are a bit threadbare. You got a headache? The pains of travel, I see. Well, maybe a glass of my strongest will ease your aches. Lord knows I need one for myself. Now, that name of yours, it's nice. Suits you. I have an intuition for these things. Names are important to people. They hold a certain energy. When said by someone you love, it can brighten your day. When yelled out in anger, it can create a thunderstorm in your heart. When whispered with a hint of ecstasy, it can make you feel like the most powerful thing in the world. A weird fascination, you say? I suppose so. Knowing names is a part of my livelihood. Don't you think being greeted by name by an old friend at the bar isn't one of the nicer feelings to experience? I know everyone's name in this town. Well, until earlier this evening. Why else did I come up here after a long day of work, offering you a glass of liquor in my company? The name itself isn't the most important thing, but when you gave me yours with the intention of wanting a more intimate connection with me, you left yourself a little vulnerable. It's not just the name I want, darling. It's the soul. Did you know that Father Marley isn't his actual name? He was smart. Not smart enough in the end, but smart to begin with. He fought real hard to hold on to himself, but like all the others, he gave in at the end. Like Anne Marie. What a sweet soul she was. Soft like rose petals, and she tasted like pure honey. She practically threw herself into my arms. You gave me a thread to pull on, stranger. Do you feel it? That little ache in your chest that grows the more I speak? It's your soul. I've tethered my magic onto it, and it calls for me. I can take it from you, but it would taste like roadkill left on the side of the road on a sunny afternoon. I want to know the flavor of your pure essence. I bet it tastes like the darkest of bourbon. I want you to give it to me. Just say the words, and all your pains and troubles will float away, my dear. I promise. So, I still feel a hint of resistance here. Are you scared? Because you finally connected the dots and figured out who I am? What I am? Unfortunately, the father found out a second too late as. Well, not exactly. I'm not a demon. Not really. I'm not simply corrupting people. If I was, there would be more people in this quiet little town now, wouldn't there? He left the world with a smile on his face, though. I told you. I can make this sweet. What is there to lose? Your mission failed the second you stepped through my doors. Father Marley was long gone before you arrived. Terribly sorry about that. They sent you to me like a lamb. You know the rest of that phrase, don't you? It would be better for both of us if you were good and let me have what is mine. I've already marked your soul. You've let me in that much. See, if I pull on this thread any harder, you'd start to feel a pain unlike any you've ever felt. I've only had to do that once to a stubborn little lamb. Their cries went on for hours, and their spirit tasted like ash. I would rather not experience that again, if at all possible. So give in, my dear. The thread is loosening ever so slightly, sweetness. You were unprepared, weren't you? You didn't believe him either. You thought he was crazy, running off like that. You were expecting to catch a senile old man and trot him back to church, collect your reward, and leave. Too bad. What a shame. Now, you're here with me. And who's going to follow up after you? If I'm lucky, they'll be easier to swear than you were. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, darling. I should be focusing on you. You have my full attention and my finest touch, as long as you give me what I want, as long as you say yes. So,